side control into mount, and we're gonna get into S mount today. So my right knee's gonna be on his hip. So my left knee can float. Left arm underneath, pressure on his middle finger into his armpit, blocking his hip, and I'm gonna pull that in, drop pressure on him. I can move this left knee where it needs to go. All right, he's framing like he's supposed to. All right, so if I'm here with all this pressure, his face turned, he bridges into me. Good. It's not really moving anywhere. He's got to really start to work through that. He's framing. I'm going to go underneath this elbow. Okay. I'm not just going to try to step over. It's not going to work. All right. So I get pressure on him. He's framing. All right. So you get frame. All right. Underhook position under his elbow. All right. From here, I got both hands underneath him. I'm going to pop up to knee on belly, and I'm going to walk this hand. Here. Hold at his shoulder. I'm going to kind of cover this arm over here. Once I beat this, I can windshield wipe that right leg. Here and tight. And I'm going to work on bringing his knee up right away. Clearly, I can set up my arm triangles. We're going to say his hand is higher above his head. That's okay. I'm going to follow that path and put my right knee over all the way up. So I'm going to bring my right knee high here. I'm going to switch and finish in this S mount position. Okay? Let's go this way. Pull him tight. Right knee comes high by his shoulder. Open, switch. And I'm going to be really tight here. He's going to end up in this spot. All right? We're just going to start by drilling an arm bar out of here. Depending on how he plays his defense, if he's smart, if he doesn't want me to get this arm, he's going to try to cover it up. Okay? So I can start to work these things apart by attacking each arm to get to what I want. I'm going to start here. The soft part of my forearm is going to clamp his elbow in. So he's tight here. I'm just going to peel. Okay? From here, I'm already into that one. Okay? And at any point, if I lose this, right, he can't turn that hand out, he has to turn this, right? I can pummel. Sorry, don't crack your elbow. All right? I have him in almost like a ugly arm bar, almost like a Kimura type position where I can just manipulate that elbow, like a monoplata, if you will. All right? If that arm's out, I can scoop, peel this, get my gi, and attack it that way. Or once I have this free, I can loop this arm, hold my gi, push the leg, go right over the top, and arm bar him there. All right. What we're going to drill is from this position. I'm just going to work to get to this arm. So close it, open, right, and then say that doesn't work, I can pummel, hold, and I'm going to scoop this here. I'm going to reach for this backside knee. So I'm going to lean over him. I'm going to use this toe that's engaged here to rock over him. Okay. I'm going to take a hand and hook his back leg, and then now I'm going to step over his head here. From here, I'm going to fall towards his knees. And I'm right to my finish. Okay? We'll do the other side. Just face this way. Okay. All right. Tight underneath. Okay. He's got his frames. I'm going to go underneath that elbow and start to walk the hand up as I bring my knee up. Knee goes to the mat. Can you walk in this? Okay? Put your elbow down more. Fingers, walk them up. I can do another method too, where I put my head on the other side and straighten my arm to get his elbow to move. Okay? Walk it up. As I start to get his elbow away from his body, I'm going to start to walk to the side. And then I'm going to hold it with the other leg, the other arm. Okay? From here, I'm gonna windshield wipe my left leg. Here. Bring my left knee really high and turn. Okay? I'm gonna make this S with my legs. All right? Sweat. Heel. All right. Tack. Here. As soon as this arm is open, I catch. I can just hold it. I can grab my gi as well. And I'm gonna lean. Use that toe. Lean over him, hook the leg. I'm sitting on him. So I'm controlling here. I'm not gonna pop his arm because I'm falling off of him. I fall back. Here. Get my finish. If I don't have my gi, I'm gonna grab the wrist, pin it to my chest, get my finish. Any questions? Yes.
If you're wanting to finish on top instead of falling back, are you still grabbing the top leg, or?
I'm gonna grab the rear leg if I'm falling back.
Okay.
If I want to finish on top, I'm gonna grab the his top leg or far leg.
Okay.
Near leg to fall back. Far leg to stay on top. Okay. So here, say I want to just break this. Control my gi. I'm gonna lean the top of the far side leg. Here, over the top, pinch, and I'm going to turn to get my finish. Notice I'll straighten his arm as I turn. I'm going to turn towards his knees.
Okay.
Once I get his arm extended, I'm going to use my hips too.
Okay, so kind of whatever knee is available
Yeah.
is the way you're going to finish.
Or where you have preference. You know, you may feel better finishing from the top versus falling back. Both work.
Could you do one more time?
Yep. Tight, under his elbow,
Yep.
right? I'm gonna pop up almost like a knee on belly, and I'm gonna walk this arm up,
Yep.
okay? Don't get this away where he can get his arm inside, like this. Okay, come back. Walk it up, here. Once I get his arm up, I'm gonna start to scoop, like slide it over, okay? Catch him with my left arm that's already under his head. Once I have that, I'm gonna windshield wipe my right leg, bring my knee really high, and switch, okay? Now you see where he's at. I can already catch the far side leg, get my finish. Make sense? If I'm finishing falling off, catch, lean, here, fall,
When you're leaning forward, what are you putting your pressure on?
my hip on his. So it's gonna be,
Where's the choke? Because I see you have the under the arm and you're leaning.
there's no choke. I'm just putting pressure on.
Got it.
Rock it over.
Pressure is the tap.
If I'm not leaning over him, okay?
He's-
If I'm not leaning over him, I'm gonna fall off. If I fall off, I'm not finishing. So, I'll hold this loose.
So the finish is the arm bar. Forward
Yeah.
is the pressure to loosen the arm.
Well, this whole position, I'm gonna drop dead weight on him, so it's heavy. Right? I'm high enough up that he bridges. Like he's not really getting me off of him because I'm not really on his hips. I'm sitting back here and he bridges me. Right? I wanna be really high up under him. Like there's a lot of pressure on him here. Okay? Toes engaged. I catch his arm here. I'm gonna rock over him. Right? Turn that knee down if I'm finishing on top. You turn away from me.
Yeah.
If I get the back leg, hook the ankle, fall towards his knee. Okay, I'm gonna keep the leg, keep the wrist.
Do you see anything wrong as you're trying to pull that wrist apart? Sometimes it'll fight you on that as you're coming back.
What's that?
As you're coming back to the arm bar.
If he already has his grip, like maybe if I loop his arm and he's defending the whole time, I'm not usually gonna try to armbar him falling off that way.
Do you see any value though in doing that with crisscrossing your feet to force that apart? 'Cause you
That's a
already-
whole different thing. I'm not saying, there's different ways to break that position, but I'm not gonna fall towards his knees with his arms already like in a rear naked choke defense. Right? I'm just gonna break him down, preferably. Let's go here. So he's hiding the arm bar, right? So rather than me force, like try to loop all this, if I fall here, right, he's in pretty good, it's a tough position for me to get, I mean, I may finish it, but why put myself in that spot if I can break him down? So if I'm here, right, I'm super tight, I'm just gonna start working this stuff off, right? Finish one, right?
Yep.
Finish another one, it's pinned between my ribs, all right? Then I can finish that arm up here. If I don't, control, and then finish in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna force it. I mean, I can do that, but typically if he keeps his arm, I'm gonna try to stay on top. Because I can break it right through his defense if he just tries to rear naked choke defend.
When you take your last step and roll back, does it matter which way his palm is facing?
I'm gonna, when I finish him, I want his thumb pointing to the ceiling.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be that focused on it until I get him into that position.
Got it.
I wanna get him there first. Any other questions? Yes?
I always struggle with this when you're setting up the S mount, the far leg that's under his arm. How do you stop them from swimming under it? Obviously, and you can triangle them potentially, but
Yeah.
yeah. That just the way my leg floats when I set that up, people get under
If
it
you
a lot.
keep it high, it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So part of what we wanna do, that's why we're walking this up
Okay.
or walking this up, because now I can get my knee really high,
That one.
okay? If he's trying to dig his elbows here,
Yeah.
right,
that-
this is not very good for him.
right.
One, I could go right over the top. If this whole thing bails, like he tries to come up, I'm just gonna pass, not that way, you're gonna have to turn towards me. So come to the side.
Right.
Okay.
And do something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what I'm trying to get to is this control. Come up really high. I'm still kind of picking him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now,
that's what I
I'm in
never
this
asked.
position. Okay? And then I'm gonna turn hard. I should make a 90-degree angle, and then he's toast.
Right.
All right.
So maybe pick them up a little.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
focus on using your the walking of the arm up.
Okay.
You know, it's much more difficult for me to get in that position if I'm just sitting in mount. Let's scoot down here. So if I'm just sitting here, he's gonna bury his elbows. It's just gonna be difficult. Okay? So if I'm here, it's very difficult to get, he's not just gonna let me push these up. It's just not gonna happen. But if I walk them up from here, all right, once his elbow gets away from his body, he's gonna be super weak. Once I'm up here, all right, I'm in position. Really deep on that S mount. Feel. Get my finish. Okay?
So back to Daniel's thing. So it's that picking up and then holding the other hand, keeping that shoulder up. That's kind of the magic.
Yes, but the real thing is getting his arm up, away from his body, and up above his head. When that happens, it's gonna be super easy for me to get my right knee really high. So I'm not sitting on his point of leverage, which would be his hips. Right?
I think so.
If I just try to go to mount, he's gonna have his elbows dug.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, it's gonna be difficult for most of you to get that high from that point. Right?
I think I run into the same problem Daniel does. The other one swims under. So what you're doing is picking him up, so. he's
I'm
close.
keeping him tight. My arm's already under there the whole time. So when I switch, I'm almost picking him up. I'm not focusing on picking him up with my hands as much as I already have a grip there. So
Yeah.
when I switch my hips, it almost picks him up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
I'll walk around and make sure everybody's got it, but I think you'll see what I'm talking about when you,
Okay,
when you
that's,
try it.
yeah.
All right? All right, get your partners, guys.
Oh, on the arm bar, do you have a preference on grabbing the gi or just tucking it?
I typically don't grab the gi unless I'm finishing from on top.
Okay, okay.
All right,
So go for the grab first, then gi at the
Correct,
end.
because I'm just, if I hold the gi, eventually I'm probably gonna slip off of that to the wrist, but you can do it. The only problem is if I just hold the gi and I fall off, I have to orientate his thumb.
Okay.
You know, if his hand's pointed like this or turned down, depending on which way it's facing, it's not gonna be right. So I really wanna focus on proper braking mechanics on it. All right? All right.